On SmackDown, The Rock returned to WWE, but now we have learned why exactly he did return to WWE and what it means for Roman Reigns. So on SmackDown, the show opened up with Pat Mcafee coming down to the ring, and he started to talk, but then was interrupted by Austin Theory. But then as Austin Theory began to talk, he was interrupted by The Rock. When The Rock's music played, the crowd in Denver erupted in cheers. Now, some thought, oh, this is just a fake out. They're just going to play The Rock's music and somebody's going to come down to the ring dressed as The Rock or something. Because The Rock's not going to come to WWE right now. He's not scheduled. This was not advertised. But it was actually The Rock. It was not a fake out. And many wondered, this is a bit strange. What is this all about? Why is The Rock making an unadvertised appearance on SmackDown? And why is he doing it with Pat Mcafee and Austin Theory? We'll get to that in a moment. The Rock has not appeared in a WWE ring since the debut episode of Friday Night SmackDown on Fox in October of 2019. So it's been nearly 4 years since we last saw The Rock inside of a WWE ring. Now, something weird happened during this segment that a lot of people are wondering about, and that is The Rock deciding to use a word that can't be uttered on broadcast network TV due to the FCC. And much of The Rock's segment had to be muted, or canned cheers had to be played over what The Rock and the crowd was saying. We don't know if this was an ad-lib by The Rock, if he got permission, if WWE knew that a big portion of this segment was going to be muted or taped crowd noise being played over it. So it was a little bit disjointed. So The Rock ended up beating up Austin Theory as he hit him with the people's elbow. But after SmackDown went off the air, we learned exactly why The Rock returned. And there are many questions, such as, will The Rock be back next week on SmackDown? Will he wrestle at an upcoming WWE pay-per-view? But the biggest question of them all is, what does this mean for Roman Reigns? So let's get to the answers to those questions right now. As we know, there have been rumors flying for years about The Rock returning to WWE and possibly having one last wrestling match. Now, The Rock announced his retirement from professional wrestling in 2019. But with professional wrestling, retiring really means nothing, as most wrestlers have retired many times only to come back. So just because The Rock said he retired doesn't really mean anything. So fans have been waiting for The Rock to come back, not only to make an appearance in WWE, but to actually wrestle again. And many fans are wondering, is this it? Is The Rock back to do one last run in WWE? Will he wrestle in an upcoming match? And will that match be against his very own cousin, Roman Reigns? Well, we are now learning all of the details to why The Rock returned to WWE on SmackDown. So going into this episode of SmackDown, WWE had no plans to have The Rock on the show. It was only when WWE producers realized that The Rock happened to be in the same city where SmackDown was taking place, in Denver, Colorado. The Rock was in Denver to watch a college football game. The Deion Sanders coached football team, the Colorado Buffaloes. And that game wasn't going to take place until Saturday night. So The Rock was going to be free Friday night, the day before the game. And prior to SmackDown taking place, Pat Pat Mcafee, the former WWE color commentator, hosted his show in Denver because of this Colorado football game. And he happened to have The Rock on his show. So both were in town, and producers thought, hey, this is a great opportunity to not only have Pat Mcafee on SmackDown, but The Rock. So this was a last-second thrown-together thing. This was not some kind of thing that was months in the making. And we also have to remember The Rock has a little more free time right now because actors are currently on strike, and all major Hollywood movie productions and TV shows are currently halted until the strike is over. So The Rock was able to go to this Colorado football game, and he was able to be on the Pat Mcafee show, and he was able to be on SmackDown. And it's possible that if there wasn't a strike, that The Rock just wouldn't have time to go to Denver and watch a football game and go to SmackDown. So then the next question is this a one-off appearance, or is The Rock here to stay, much like John Cena? John Cena is currently booked to stay in WWE for the next couple of months. So what does this mean for The Rock? We are now learning that this was a one-off appearance. It was just the kind of thing where The Rock happened to be just down the road, and they called him up and said, hey, do you want to come down and make an appearance, and we'll pay you this much money? And The Rock said yes. And that's it. There is no next appearance. There is no next week for The Rock or wrestling at the upcoming pay-per-view. It's just not going to happen. And this could be something that Roman Reigns right now is very mad about. That The Rock's return to WWE had nothing to do with him. Roman was nowhere to be seen. Roman was not on the show. Roman is still on vacation. And Roman right now might be fuming over having to watch his cousin, The Rock, go face-to-face with Austin Theory instead of him. As we know, The Rock versus Roman Reigns was supposed to happen at this year's WrestleMania. Because The Rock was relaunching the XFL, he just couldn't fit WrestleMania into his schedule. But there could be some good news for Roman. Now that the door has been opened and The Rock has walked through, is it possible that this could be the first step to seeing Roman Reigns versus The Rock at next year's WrestleMania, WrestleMania 40? What are your thoughts about The Rock returning to WWE on SmackDown? And do you think Roman Reigns should be upset with WWE because he was not involved with The Rock's return to the company? Leave a comment below and give me your opinion. And don't forget to subscribe and click the bell notification and check out our new YouTube channel, Wrestling News Now Insider. Click on the link to visit it now, and you will get brand new exclusive videos.